There we go. Chapter 5. Trouble Brewing. As you and Zev walk toward the greenhouse potions class, you feel him in on the events of the previous day. Beckett taught me a spell to run about the books, and then he even gave me a rundown on this illegal blood magic stuff. Back a second, you're saying that Beckett was actually nice? I know, right? I think Beckett isn't as bad as he seems. He's not totally a jerk. He's more like a total nerd. Most people think he's cool, but doesn't really know what cool is. So it makes up for it by being a snob. Honestly, that seems like a front to me. I don't think he has any friends. Zeph snorts, elbowing you in the side. Until now, congrats on becoming Owner Nerd's first friend. But tell me something, Elijah. You got a lot to say about this Harrison guy, and everyone's noticed the tension between you two. Correct me if I'm wrong, and I'll totally drop the subject, but do you have a little crush on him, by any chance? Honestly, it is kinda hot. Everybody likes mean nerds with a secret soft side, Zeph. You're saying he has a soft side? I'm gonna let you have your type, Elijah. But just so you know, I'm gonna take every opportunity I can to teach you about it. That's what we're friends for. You enter the greenhouse and take your seats, continuing your conversation as students slowly file in. Things got weird after I left the library. I saw someone, maybe a teacher, staring at me, but she ran away when I tried to talk to her. I followed her into the lost and found. I found a baby picture of me, birthmark on my shoulder and everything. It can't just be a coincidence. It's like she led me straight to it. Okay, plot twist. So this woman knows you or something? I don't even know what to think. It's like every time I have this figured out, something new pops up. I'm so confused. But I think the best thing I can do is keep my head down and learn as much about the magical world as I can. That has to give me some answers, right? It sounds like you already have a lead with this woman. And that's what I was thinking. If only I knew who she was, or how to get her to talk to me. All I remember is that she was wearing a red scarf, and her hair was kind of messy and flying around everywhere. You know, it sounds like you're talking about Professor Swan. I read some really strange stuff about her. He leans in, looking at you intensely. Sure, they call her Professor, but from what I heard, she hasn't taught. Wait, Professor Swan? The first year Sana advisor Kanto was telling me about? Yeah, that sounds like... Good morning, young learners. Thank you all for being on time. Professor Kantos enters the greenhouse with a cauldron in his arms. Zeph quickly sits up straight. We're going to get right into potion making today, which I'm sure many of you are excited about. To begin, I'd like you all to come take a look at the dream potion you're going to be concocting. He sets the cauldron onto a desk at the front of the classroom. You and Zeph crowd closer with the rest of the class, and you nudge Zeph in the side. Tell me more about Professor Swan. She's like super weird, always muttering under her breath, kind of a loner, really protective of her office. Protective of her office? What does that even mean? I don't know, but there's a rumor that she keeps illegal magical stuff in there, contraband or potions, maybe even creatures. But hasn't anyone been in there? They would have seen all the stuff, right? I've heard that she doesn't like being around people, never invites students to her office, doesn't really talk to the other professors. What's she even doing at college then? Has everyone seen the potion? Students in the back. Elijah, Zeph, please come forward and take a quick look. You and Zeph break off your conversation to peer into the cauldron. While fairly easy to make, a daydream potion can have amusing side effects when improperly brewed, though not typically dangerous. which is why you'll be making this potion to kickstart your brewing juju, as you're trying to say. Not sure I heard that before. Cut him some slack. It can't be easy trying to keep up all the current a ton and Satar lingo. Daydreams are typically associated with lack of focus, but this potion will do the opposite, heighten your creature facilities. You should find that magic comes to you more easily. The most common side effect is spaciness, which is where the potion gets its name. One could slip the professor dosing his morning tea, give them extra time on the term paper, while said professor is lost in school reveries. Seth turns toward you with a light grin on his face. Professor Contos notices and carries on cheerfully. But I discourage you from getting any ideas. The professors here can all recognize the signs of having consumed a daydream potion. Now if you return to your desk, I'll take any questions you may have before we begin brewing. About to concoct your first potion, listening carefully to the instructions will impress Professor Contos, and properly brewing the potion will unlock a bonus scene later in the story. If I had to say brewing one more time, I'm gonna lose it. But it's also your chance to get the gospel and impress Professor Swan, which may give you more clues about the recent attacks. Make your choice wisely. If I had to say Professor one more time, I'm gonna lose it. You raise your hand, and Professor Contos nods in your direction. Of course, then Elijah. What happens if you take a high dose of a daydream potion, Professor? Well, I appreciate your curiosity. Please be advised that recreational potion taken is strictly against school policy. Don't worry, Professor. I won't break any school rules, but it's a good idea to know what I want to avoid, isn't it? Fair enough. Taking too high a dose of a daydream potion can result in excessive drooling and blank staring, speaking in gibberish, and occasionally adding out the fantasies you're experiencing. Now, let's get brewing. First, fill your cauldron halfway with distilled rainwater, which you can find in my storage room. Contos demonstrates how to start a potion, setting the flame underneath his cauldron. Once the rainwater has been added, the water quickly heats up. As the rainwater in your cauldron begins to steam, it's time to prepare your first ingredient. He picks up a roughly shaped rock with an otherworldly gleam. Carefully shave off 5 grams of your moonstone and grind to a powder with a mortar and pestle. Finely ground moonstone stabilizes the rest of the ingredients and improves the potion's taste and texture. We're drinking it? As he stirs in the moonstone powder, his potion turns a soft blue-purple. Takes a deep breath as a fragrant scent, like pastries baking in a warm kitchen, fills the room. A pleasant aroma should begin emanating from your potion. Simply wait for the surface to fog up before adding in 2 silvers of tusk of murfin. I wonder what a murfin is. Tusk of murfin enhances focus, but the more you add, the longer and more intense this focus will be. 2 slivers is plenty, as we don't want to become zombies to the outside world. That make a nice prank though. No pranks in this class, Mr. Hernandez. You never want to anger a room full of potion makers. I speak from experience. Professor Contos adds 2 slivers of the tusk of murfin, and his potion immediately reaches a low boil. He lets the potion stew for another minute before picking up a beautiful flower. It looks like pure gold. Delicately pluck the dream shade petals like so. Make sure not to tear or crease them. Then simply combine into your mixture. I need to be out of this class to stop using this voice. Holy crap. Professor Contos drops the petals into his potion and stirs. The liquid turns a luminescent golden shade. The bubbles on the surface slowly calming. If the rest of the steps have been followed correctly, your daydream potion should turn a golden color once you have added your dream shade. Now class, please partner up. 30 minutes should be plenty of time for you all to brew up a reasonable potion. Get concocted, be safe, and most importantly, have fun. Alright, let's get something to eat. Alright, let's cook up some daydreams. Zeph heads to the storage room to visit class and returns with his arms full of ingredients, including your cauldron for rainwater. You light a flame beneath your cauldron, and once the water begins to steam, you reach for the first ingredient. What? Eggs here. What's that old? Would you mind flaking off 5 grams for me? I'll grind it up. Zeph flakes off a few pieces of moonstone, carefully weighs them, then places them in a mortar. You smash them down into a fine powder with a pestle. You stir the moonstone powder into your cauldron, and your potion turns out a pleasant shade of periwinkle. It smells kind of like blueberry pie. You slowly stir your potion until the surface turns foggy, and the classroom fills with a rich, sugary scent. Alright, step 2 is adding in our tusk of Murphin. Zeph picks up the ancient-looking tusk and holds the thicker end toward you. Remember, we don't want to get too much and turn into zombies, or do we? You slice off fragments of your ingredient and tip them into your cauldron. The potion reaches a low boil, and the surface becomes reflective like a melted pane of glass. This is looking good. You and Zeph continue making your potion, watching the liquid change from dark to light, serene to boiling. Soon, you're on the final steps. I'll let you do the honors, Elijah. Last but not least, Dream Shade. Zeph plucks a beautiful flower and presents it to you with a flourish. The finest flower for the finest potion-making partner. Well, thank you, kind sir. Here goes nothing. You take the flower, delicately pluck off 5 petals, and drop them into your cauldron. As you stir, the bubbles on the surface calm, and your concoction turns to soft, radiant gold. I think we're done. Professor Contos, can you come check our potion, please? Professor Contos comes around to your desk and peers into your cauldron. He nods, then smiles at you both. Very well done, Mr. Snyder, Mr. Hernandez. I'm exceptionally pleased. While not perfect, this would earn you both high scores in a practical exam. As such, I'm awarding you both full marks today. Very good work. Thanks, Professor. My work hard thanks you too. A little while later, Professor Conto makes his way to the front of the class as the last groups finish up their potions. Good work today, class. You may all leave as soon as you clean out your workstations. Thank you for a wonderful first lesson. Zeph reaches for your cauldron to go empty it out, but you stop him. Did you want to admire our work some more? I was thinking, there's still time left in class, and Professor Contos did say our potion wasn't perfect. He said we get high marks on it. But I like perfection. Oh my god. Please tell me spending one evening in the library with Beckett hasn't poisoned your mind. Zeph, calm down. I just think I can make the potion even better a second time. Magic is amazing, and I want to work as hard as I can at it. Upgrading your potion will impress Professor Contos and prove that the bonus scene you'll unlock for later. So, I'll make it again. See yourself, but I hope you don't mind me taking the back seat this time. I'm pushing out for the day. That's fine. Your moral support is all I need. You'll empty your cauldron, then bring it back to your desk, take out your potions textbook, and crack your knuckles. Let's do this, Elijah. Following the directions in your textbook closely, you add ingredients to your cauldron and stir as directed. Powdered moonstone to stabilize, and the potion should return. Yes, periwinkle. 2 slivers of tusk of morphine to enhance focus. The potion begins boiling, and the periwinkle shade fades to clear. And last but not least, the dream shade petals. Drop the petals into the dream shade. You drop the petals of the dream shade flower into the potion, where they flow to it gently but he fell under a gently bubbling surface for a second before sinking down. He stirred the liquid carefully, and rose fade away. It makes it turns a beautiful golden shade. It smells like roses. Yes. Professor Contos, can you come look at my potion, please? Professor Contos comes over and peers into your cauldron. Well, Elijah, you certainly have done yourself. I'd say this is about as perfect. I say this is about as close to perfect as I've ever seen from one of my students. This professor, I guess I got a knack for potion making. I certainly say so. Though I definitely attribute these results to your hard work as well. Thank you for driving this class. Professor Conto dismisses you with another proud nod, and you turn to grin at Zeph. Looks like I'm gonna have to start calling you Mr. Overachiever. A title I'll wear proudly. Now come on, help me clean up this potion. You and Zeph leave the greenhouse after cleaning up and start to walk back toward the main building. Hey, so about Professor Swan. Just then, Griffin passes by. He stops suddenly when he sees you and breaks into a wide grin. Hey Elijah, you planning on swinging by Deep Trials today? Hold on, I thought it didn't start for another hour. You know, just hoping set things up. I take it I'll be seeing you there then? For sure. Elijah, why don't you give it a shot as well? Okay, I've heard there's a Deep word a few times now. Who's going to do the honors and actually tell me what it is? You know what Deep is? Hey, go easy on him. Elijah's lived a pretty sheltered life so far. Less judgment, more explanation, please. Deep is the sport where two teams face off against each other inside a huge dome. There will flag attached to a belt on your waist, and if it gets stolen by the opposing team, you're out. You can use elemental magic to help you steal flags or protect your own. Last team with someone standing wins. That sounds like flag football. What's that? Deep is loosely based on flag football, but improves dramatically, because, magic. You should definitely try out, Elijah. Deep is like, imagine the coolest video game you ever played, but a million times better. The perfect fusion of sports and magic. I.e. sports. The terrain shifts throughout the match, so depending on your tournament, you have advantages and disadvantages. And Pendergast has one of the best cheering sessions around. I can't wait to hear all hail the fighting Trimaxers chanted by a full stadium. Our team's second to none. Three-time league champs, and we just won last year when I was a freshman. That all sounds awesome, but do you really think I can play this epic sport of yours on your epic team, no less? You give me no reason to think that you couldn't, and I don't think the team's ever had a sunlight on it before either. Look between Zeph and Griffin, their faces glowing with excitement. Okay, I'll go do tryouts. All the crazy stuff happened to me. I think I deserve to take a morning off to have some fun. Yes! Okay, I have to go get ready. I'm gonna try to fit in some last-minute practice outside the dorms. See you later, Elijah. Griffin. He hurries off with a wave, and you turn to Griffin. There's still one big issue with me showing up to tryouts, though. I've never played Deep before. You got a lot of people trying out who barely know the basics. It's easy to pick up, so don't worry too much. Although, I have been a starter on the team since last year. I might know a thing or two that can help you out. If you're up for a little one-on-one practice, that is. Is it the practice you're after, or are you just interested in the one-on-one part? Guilty as charged. I've been looking forward to spending more time with you, and this seems like the perfect opportunity to me. I'm down, but I don't think I'll be able to do much. I'm down, but I don't think I'll be able to do much magic as basic as mine. Actually, fairies are allowed at tryouts, since most freshmen are on the same boat as you. Plus, how you work with your familiar gives us a sense of how you handle teamwork. Loomis peers on your shoulder, bringing it around enthusiastically. Looks like someone's excited. I'm not sure he loved the extra playtime, and I'd love to show you how fun Thief is. And by the sound of it, fun's exactly what you and Loomis could use right now. So, what do you say? Hang out with Griffin and Loomis while getting some Thief pointers to help you during tryouts. I didn't even want to do this. Great, then let's head to the arena. You follow him to step aside Griffin as he takes you across campus toward the stadium. You arrive inside the arena and marvel at the markings on the grass. I feel like I'm in the middle of some sort of ritual. What are all those designs in the corners for? Through the wars that let the terrain change. That's also the starting zone. There's another on the other side. It's another on the opposite corner of the field. Each team begins the match in their respective zone, and once the terrain shifts, they set off looking for each other. Takes a deep breath, and then lets out a small smile. And then, takes a deep breath, and then lets it out with a smile. I call this place my home away from home. Since that's technically my dorm, it's more my home away from home, away from home. Anyway, I'm gonna get down to business. Anyways, let's get down to business. I'm gonna teach you the 3 basics any half-decent deep player should know. Let's get down to business, to defeat the Hunts. Sorry. Intense. I'm ready, coach. We're both ready. 1. Protect your flag with your life. He hands you a belt with a flag attached to it and waits for you to fasten it around your waist. 2. Use it to feint to your advantage. And 3. Be stealthy. He pulls a lever behind what looks like a referee box at the edge of the field. The terrain begins to shift, the dome fading, and the forest materializes right before your eyes. Holy crap. Are we in some kind of sci-fi movie? Oh, these are holograms. This is all real. Immersive, right? With a grin, green motions at the trees around you. Now, the best deep players are the ones that utilize the terrain to help them steal the opponent's flags. That's so easy. He walks about 30 yards away from you, then turns back around. Try using your magic and the terrain to steal my flag. I won't put up a defense. I just want to see what you can do with Loomis' help. Use the elements available in this forest. Piece of cake. With Loomis perched on your shoulder, you take in your surroundings, decide on which element would suit you best. Burn it down. Burn it. Burn it all down. Okay, Loomis, power me up. With a wriggle of excitement, Loomis starts channeling his magical energy into you. Awesome. Thanks, Loomis. Tree root wiggles out of the ground at Griffin's feet, wraps several times around one of his ankles. Well, it'll take you a while to get out of that. You stride over to Griffin and take his flag from his belt with a grin. Great job. It was a tricky one, but with Loomis' help, I don't think you have a problem using that trials. Thanks. And thanks. Loomis, with you. Thanks. And thanks, Loomis. With you by my side, trials will be a total breeze. Shh. The terrain shifts again, this time materializing into a pond beside you. Okay, same idea. This time, you'll be on the defense. Use elements to stop me before I get to your flag. He jogs away from you, then starts walking back at a slower pace, giving you plenty of time to take stock of your terrain. I mean, these would make great hiking spots. But I don't hike, so I don't care. Where do you see metal? Could it go? Oh, earth. Spin the ground up. I'm gonna go with water. Let's do this, Loomis. Flake suddenly lurches over his banks, washing over Griffin and pulling him back into his steps. He surfaces, spitting water out of his mouth. You're looking like a little fish out of water there. You're looking a little like a fish out of water there. Well, that was one way to do it. Nice work, Elijah. I keep saying the name Elijah and I forget that's my character. Because, like, last time I read it, his name was Elliot, I think. I feel like it was Elliot. I think it was Elliot. I was going with Elliot. When I started this, the first time, you know, rereading it for you people. But something happened or I messed up with the intro too many times that I just said, fuck it, I'm gonna restart it. And I changed the name to Elijah instead. I fumbled the intro so bad, I just said, you know what, I'm gonna stop recording. Delete this. Like 2-3 times. I'm just gonna redo this whole thing. But now, with the name Elijah. I don't know why. Griffin turns to the referee box and pushes the lever up. Dawn reappears overhead, and you're back on the standard field. Is practice over already? With a sulk, Loomis disappears back into the ether. Well, I have to teach you a little bit more. The captain's gonna want the place ready for tryouts soon. Griffin, what do you think my chances really are? Are you seriously worried? You showed some real skill just now. So you're saying I'm natural? I'm saying you have the right instincts with each practice hard, and you can become a star player. I think you'll make the varsity team, no problem. A loud metal chime or a race over the grounds in the clock tower. Shoot, it's later than I thought. But nobody's here yet. You just have to wait for them to show up, right? Actually, I'm a pin style to make first, and if you're gonna try out, you should probably change it to something more athletic. I know where you can find the right gear. Come with me. Wait, where are we going? Where else? Penn Square, of course. Plus, when I asked her, she's probably expecting you. I wouldn't be surprised if she already has a jersey picked out for you. I'd be surprised about all those things. Why would she? But Griffin's already setting off, so you hurry after them. You arrive at the busy streets of Penn Square, and a group of children run by, holding onto singing balloons. Fruity scented sparks fly up from a nearby booth, and teenagers fly overhead on broomsticks and a skateboard. Griffin sets off at a brisk pace, politely shaking his head at a vendor, trying to sell him a bouquet of flaming daisies. You have to power walk to keep up. I need to get some new bells and flags. There are always a handful of people who show up to tryouts without them. I thought you were a player. Are you the team's equipment manager too? Unofficially, I just like to keep things running smoothly for the team. I take thief pretty seriously, in case you haven't noticed. Yet. I noticed. You and your teammates must be close. Griffin laughs bitterly. It's complicated. We play well together on the field. There's no mistaking it. But as soon as the match ends and the stands clear out, let's just say it's no pretending we're all that tight. I never clicked with them. Why not? Seems like you do so much for them. I've been a starter since last year. When I was a freshman, a lot of the other members resent me for that. So they make me do a lot of the grunt work. There's just this culture on the team. I really don't like it, and they can all tell. My parents wanted me to become a professional thief player. They're pretty much my biggest fans, but it's just too much sometimes. Do you want to be a professional thief player? I love thief, but I don't see myself doing it forever. I always wanted to help people, and natural disaster relief just speaks to me. Anyway, I gotta do well with the team to get my scholarship, and I enjoy the game, so it's not like I have that much to complain about. You're playing a sport that you love, but thinking about what the future has in store for you beyond it. And they get really driven. You know how to take initiative. At the end of the day, it's your life, so it's great that you won't let anyone dictate to you. Huh. I hadn't really thought about it that way. I've mostly been worried about letting my folks down. It's tough for people to expect things from you all the time. It's tough for people to expect things from you that you don't want, but I'm sure your family will be proud seeing you forge your own path. From the way you helped me when I first got here, up to now, I thought you had to take charge. That drive would take you far. I hope so. You're really good at pep talks, you know? No, I'm not. I hate talking. After shop comes into view, and you both wave, but fucking god, learn to read. After shop comes into view, and you both come to a stop. Griffin motions with his thumb down the street. I'll just be a few doors down, getting those postal flags. I'll meet you back outside Mason to you in a bit. He heads off, and you enter Aster's shop. You find her behind the front counter, jump up and down, trying to round up a flock of small owls flying overhead. Simon, Rosie, Sir Galleon, please, not while you're molten. You're getting feathers all over the floor. Feathers fall from the owls and hit the floor in repetitive, loud clunks. With a chords of chip hoots, one of the owls settled onto the shelves behind the counter. The last owl lands on Aster's head and hunkers down amid the leaves in her hair. Why exactly did those feathers sound so heavy? Aster was around, a radiant smile spreading across her face. Hello, Elijah. You came just in time to meet my new wooden owl friends. All of them but Sir Gideon are hatchlings, so they're a handful. But I know you're really here to buy your thief uniform. Aster, how did you know that? Griffin said you would, but how? I've been waiting to see him far and wide. And when I saw you coming here, I found myself standing in front of the clothing racks with a clear image in mind of exactly what you needed. Right, well, you're gonna have to enlighten me on that one. Aster laughs musically, then lifts an arm for Sir Galleon to shuffle onto. She sets him gently onto the shelf with the other wooden owls. Follow me. I have just what you're looking for this way. Do you think it's important I wear a uniform? I think your friend would like you to, because he's quite excited to have you try out. And as far as I gathered, all the other Pendergast players have one. Having a matching uniform is seen as a show of commitment to the team. But I'm still just trying to make the team. The commitment can come afterwards, right? It's never too early to start. Think of this as me collaborating with you, so that you can make the very best first impression. That's really nice of you, but aren't we basically strangers? Are we strangers if we know each other's names? Yes. She brings you to the clothing racks, where she selects a yellow ensemble. This should do the trick. I magically reinforced all the seams, and so this should be durable enough to last all season. So I should get some serious brownie points for showing up in this, huh? Brownie points? If me and the captain will regard me quite highly, and thus be enthused that I'm the first son at ton trying out in recent history, then yes, you get the brownie points. She places the outfit in your arms, then pushes you aside into the dressing room, and change into the thief uniform. Thank you, past me, for paying for most of this stuff. Most. I'm still vengeful that you didn't pay for everything, but you know, I'll take it. After doing a few stretches to test the outfit, you step out and grin at Aster. Wow, Aster, this is comfortable. It looks great too. Thanks so much. I'm so glad you like it. She looks you up and down. They say it's difficult to pull off athletic wear, but you do it wonderfully. It makes me wish I could see you in action. You head to the front of the shop to pay for your jersey. Aster hums at your platoon as she takes your payment. Oh, I didn't know a ton of this money came with this number on them. I can't wait to add it to my collection. Come again soon, Elijah. Oh, but in the meantime, please be alert. Alert? Why? It's just that there's been a bit of unrest among the wood nymphs, and sometimes I can sense. She trails off, dark eyes staring straight through you. Sense what? She doesn't answer you. Mouth open slightly, body exceptionally still. Aster? She starts to speak, expression blank tone, inflectionist at first, but slowly rising in volume. Whispers among the trees, unpleasant tidings that I don't understand. They are afraid. Their branches shrink. There's a blight in the air. They do not like it. Some recognize it. This place. What place? Aster slams her hands down on the countertop, lips pulling back in a snarl. The pitch black of her eyes suck you in, seem to swallow you whole. The Autumn breed cruelty and destruction. Foul magic that sours and poisons and leaves bane in its wake. I feel it in my bark, my branches. Magic fouler than any tree. Magic fouler than any before looms. The trees can sense its imminence, and cower at his might. Red shifts slightly, just now that you can feel like she can see you rather than drew you. Elijah, you must. You. She shudders, then slumps over the counter. Her words ring in your ears, ruining you to respond as she lays motionless. That was it? Oh, okay, well, bye.